Hi everyone, and welcome back to ArtSpot Online, the online version of the free weekly drop-in art making program at the Tampa Museum of Art, where we learn about a work of art on view at the museum and make something inspired by it. Today we're going to learn about a Red-Figure Kylix and create a spinning drawing machine inspired by it. So first, let's take a look at this Red-Figure Kylix. So this is the bottom of an ancient Greek vessel known as a Kylix. Kylix is the most popular kind of cup for wine in ancient Greece, and it was usually used during a symposium or a drinking party. It has this very distinctive shape. The shape of the Kylix makes it easier to drink from a reclining position, as you're expected to recline on a couch, resting on your elbow during the symposium. The shape of the cup also enabled drinkers to play katabos, a game where you loop your finger in the handle and you fling the little yeast and dregs, the remnants of your wine, you fling them across the room at different targets. So because of the unique shape and uses of the Kylix, they're often decorated with scenes that are only visible when the cup is drained or when it's tipped all the way back like this. So on this one, we're looking at the mythological hero Hercules, more commonly known in the US by his Roman name Hercules, wrestling the Nemean lion. This is one of the labors he was asked to perform as a way of being forgiven for killing his family in a Hera-induced rage. It's a long story, but the first of these labors was to kill and skin this Nemean supernatural lion, right? This monster with golden skin, was impenetrable by mortal weapons. Hercules got around that superpower by wrestling and then strangling the monster to death. All the way on the other side, you can see another nude figure grappling with a bull, trying to bind it with a rope. You can see he's already tied one of the hooves. This might also be Heracles at a later point in time, doing another one of his labors where he's capturing the Cretan bull. It might also be Theseus, who even later in the story kind of recaptures that bull after it had escaped to Marathon. So we're seeing these heroic feats from mythology, okay, but why are they nude? So nudity, specifically male nudity, is fundamental to ancient Greek culture. It's all over the place in a lot of different ways, but here basically the nudity is a way of showing us that what we're looking at is a scene from mythology, not a scene from everyday life. In the same way that superheroes today have different costumes that identify them as having superpowers or superhuman abilities of some kind or another, nudity in art was sometimes used as a kind of costume to identify a person as heroic, divine, or semi-divine being. So heroes are often portrayed battling and performing their superhuman feats in the nude. So I really like how this design is organized, how you can kind of rotate it to create this almost animated scene. So that gave me the idea to make a kind of spinning drawing machine. So for this project, you're gonna need a tissue box or some other old cardboard packaging, but around the size of a tissue box, cardboard box, paper plate, some string, scissors, glue, tape, construction paper, markers. Kind of the only weird thing for this project are the 2 plastic bottle caps. All right, so the cap for a bottle of soda or like a water bottle, you just need 2 of those. So the first step is to cut a slit in the top of your box large enough for your paper plate to fit through. And then we're just gonna cover the box with construction paper just to cover up any of the old designs and nutritional information and stuff like that. Next, we're gonna trace our paper plate onto a piece of construction paper and cut out that circle. And then we're gonna make our drawings on construction paper, cut them out, and then glue them to this piece of circular paper. I was thinking about the imagery on the Kylix we were looking at, heroes battling these monsters that kind of looked like regular animals, right? And then I was like, what would be the closest thing to that in Tampa? And immediately I was like, oh yeah, okay, alligators. So I found this ancient Greek depiction of a crocodile, and I based my drawings on those. So we're gonna cut out our drawings, glue them to our circular piece of construction paper, and we're gonna glue that to the plate. Cut a hole in the middle of this, just a little bit smaller than your bottle caps. So what I would do is just trace your bottle cap in the center of your circle and then cut out a little bit inside of that. And then we're gonna make an axle for this wheel that's gonna be spinning around. So it's really simple. Just gonna take another piece of paper, fold it in half lengthwise, and I'm just gonna roll it up really tightly. So take your wound up piece of paper, put it through the hole, and then just kind of let it do its thing, let it unroll until the plate no longer spins freely. And then we're gonna cover the ends of the axle with our plastic bottle caps. So take your wheel and your axle, put it in the opening that we cut in our box, and then tape the plastic bottle caps to the box so they don't move around. We're almost done. Now we're just gonna kind of cover up the tape and cover up the caps with the same construction paper that we used for our box so it all kind of goes together. And then the last step is to take your string, tie it to the axle behind the plate, just a basic knot, and then wind it up, and then you can gently pull on the cord to make your drawing spin. You can take this in tons of different directions. You could spend a lot more time than I did decorating the box too, but it's a cool new way of thinking about how to organize a drawing, right? Like the Kylix we looked at. When you see it in a museum, you're gonna see it displayed so that you can see everything all at once, but when you think about how it was actually used, the artisan, paid a lot of attention to how that thing was gonna be viewed in the real world. So they made a drawing in a way different than they would just on a piece of paper. All right, that's Art Spot for this week. Thank you so much for learning and making with the Tampa Museum of Art. Make sure you click the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future episodes, and I'll see you next week.